What up and welcome to Tell Me I'm Wrong. Today, we're talking about why once you turn 65 years old, you should have to retake your driving test. You've been driving for 50 plus years. There's no way you're still on your A game. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. You're not getting better as you go. You're getting worse as a driver. Your vision is worse. Your hand to eye coordination is worse. Everything is worse. I think you need to forget taking a test. You just can't drive. Like have someone to drive. That needs to be what someone needs to create. Because my people who are 65 and older, they need to get around to their doctor's appointments. They need to get around to Wednesday night bingo. They need to get around to the grocery store. They need to get around to everything else they need to get around to. But they don't have the ability to safely get around without putting somebody in harm's danger. Tell me why they all got big ass cars. Why does everybody 65 and older got big ass Cadillacs? They got Escalades. They got big Buicks. And they can't drive that thing. They can't park that thing. And when they got their handicap sticker sitting in the front, it's not even parked right. So I agree. Shout out to my elders. I hope to one day get to where you are. But please, for the love of God, stop driving.
I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement. Full agreement. Number one, I'm glad that our demographic cuts off at right around 48 for this show because nobody over 65 is going to like this show
There's
anymore.
one person that's over 65 that's watching this or listening to it. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I don't know if they had to drive anywhere to hear this because
She's probably not going to like this comment. That's for sure. So
I don't
keep
care.
going.
My mom called me one day to let me know that she needed my emergency assistance. My mom is 66, I believe now. She needed.
She looks 38. She looks 38 for the record, guys.
Thank you.
Ooh,
She,
Richard.
Yeah, nevertheless, she still called me because there was an emergency. The emergency was that she put a porcelain glass in the microwave that also had a silver lining around it and tried to boil an egg and blew the door off the microwave. She's driving. She's driving a car. She shouldn't be driving. I've seen her drive. The brakes are hit really hard and the gas is hit really light. Nobody over 65 should be driving a car. Absolutely not.
In the elders' defense, I also believe if you're under 22, you probably shouldn't be driving either because you're terrible. At that age, you're terrible as well.
All right, so you, Rick, have touched on two of the points that I wanted to bring up. So I just love you're reading my mind over here. Let's start with you talking about doctor's appointments. All they got to do is go to doctor's appointments. I have a proposition, okay? Just in the same way that the city of New York installed a toll for anybody that's driving during rush hour times of the day and that reduced congestion on the roads of New York City, we need a toll for elderly people to drive first thing in the morning and in the afternoon. In fact, they should not be allowed to make doctor's appointments anytime before 10 o'clock in the morning. And actually, I would say maybe even 11 because they're going to arrive 2 hours before their 10 a.m. appointment and sit in the waiting room at 8 a.m., which means they're on the road at 7:30. They need to not be allowed to leave the house because some people got to go to work, okay? I got a job to do. Unlike you, person who's 65, 70, 75 years old, who is now kicking your feet up every single day, I'm still working for 8 hours a day. I need you to get off the road so I can get to work, not lollygag the whole time you're driving, switching lanes, not because you're on your phone, but because you can't quite see what lane you're in.
Are they switching lanes in Florida?
They are. So here's the road in Florida. This is what it's like in Florida. You'll be driving down the highway, and on the right side, normally you should be passing on the left, but people in Florida just make up their own rules. So on the right side, you've got a souped-up Honda Civic, 1999 Honda Civic with a massive muffler going about 95 on 95. And then on your left lane, which should be your fast lane, you've got a white woman from Ontario with the big updo driving about 60. in her Buick or Cadillac that's got maybe 15,000 miles on it, maybe.
Absolutely.
That's the roadway that we're dealing with in the morning, and it is a world at 7:30 in the morning.
Leave it to Marsh to come up with an old folks lane. Marsh wants to, he wants to install in all of the states of America, well, especially in the state of Florida, as far as Marsh is concerned, an old folks lane or an old folks time to drive, old folks
Yes.
an old folks tollway. Are they paying for this tollway, Marsh, or we as taxpayers paying for this tollway?
Tax them.
Well,
no, we tax them.
It's not a tollway. It's just you can't get on the road unless you're paying a toll. In the same way that you can't get on the Florida Turnpike without paying a toll. If you want to get onto the road, and if they need to reverse it, and it's like, okay, if you're sub 65, you have to get, you have to buy some toll that allows you to go on for free. I don't care the mechanisms. I just can't have them on the road because they're slowing things down. They're clogging up the road, and I either want to get home after working for 8 hours, or I want to get to work because I'm going to have to be there for 8 to 9 hours, and I don't want to be sitting behind these old folks taking their time, not knowing what road they're
I don't
on,
understand
let alone
how
the year
you-
that they're driving.
How you expect? What are they supposed to do for the first 6 hours they're awake? They all
that-
wake up at
well,
4
that-
o'clock, and this is what they're supposed to do.
Watch more of the news. They love watching stock. Just keep doing that. I mean, figure out what's really going to blow up so you can make your $5 million into $25 million because you definitely need all that extra. Look, I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm not saying I'm wrong, and this is the platform for that. This is the space. I thought this was a safe space for me to come in and say, old folks need to get. We need to figure this out. And right now we haven't figured it out.
So what's the problem? What's the problem that they do? For me, it's that so you said what you said. You said they change lanes here in Houston. I don't see them changing lanes. It's the fact that they're going 45, and here in Houston, in Texas, speed limit 75. Jack, you go if you're driving 80, like you're kind of poking around on the freeway. Get your ass out the way. They're driving 45. They're not changing lanes though. But let's say you get two of them on the road together, and one drives a little faster at 50. One's in that left lane at 50. One's in the right lane at 45. They're causing chaos. That's my problem. They're driving too slow.
I think that's the problem, right? That they're on the freeway, right? I think you get a certain. My mom, she's in her 60s. She chooses most of the time. She doesn't have to. She doesn't drive the freeway. If she can get to her destination without getting on the freeway, she's going to do that without getting on the freeway. And if she needs to go somewhere and I'm with her, then I'm the DD. I'm the designated driver because she would rather. And I'm fine with that. The problem is, unfortunately, a lot of the elderly don't have people to support them to help them get to where they need to go. Y'all know Auntie Belle's going to be at bingo every Wednesday night. If you're not going to come pick up for Wednesday night bingo, she's going to drive her blind ass there herself. Hey, it reminds me of, you guys have seen The Wolf of Wall Street, right? When Leonardo DiCaprio, he's on drugs or whatever, and he has this expensive car, and he's trying to make himself tell his body to get in the car and drives it, and in his mind, he's done a phenomenal job getting home safely until you see the car after the fact. You're like, oh shit, he barely lived. Like, that's what I feel like happens when the elderly gets in the car. Like, it's like going to the bathroom or wearing the pins. It all depends whether they're going to make it or not. So, be safe. Have someone to help you get to your destination, please. Because I don't want you burning your beans at home. And I also don't want you causing accidents on the road.
Why is their insurance cheaper, by the way? No, don't your insurance get cheaper once you get old? Like, isn't it dangerous? Like, why is it cheaper?
Yes, it is. It is very dangerous for them to be on the road because of what you're saying. They're going, like, the issue is not in Florida that they're just switching lanes. The issue is the speed limit of which they're going. They're not going with the flow. Like, let's be honest. In most states, and I think Houston and Texas and I think Florida are good representations of this, speed limit is very rarely enforced unless you're going like 20 over. Like, you go with the flow of traffic, not the speed limit, because the speed limit down here is 70. Pretty much everyone's going 78 to 82. And if somebody's going like 85 plus, you're like, whoa, okay, NASCAR driver, like, chill out. We'll get there. But everybody's going 80, except for the person who's going 64 or 62. and it's a giveaway because you know before you even pass them that it's an old person. And the giveaway to me is
But you
not
still
only
flip them the bird, huh, Marsh? You still flip
no,
them
I
the
don't.
bird. You SOB.
can't-
You still flip them the bird.
you can't do that in Florida because you just don't know what that person is going to be
Oh,
strapping
the old
over.
Florida rules.
You got to be very careful with who you're instigating in the state of Florida. But the on ramp to the highway, right? The on ramp is when you take your opportunity to go from maybe you just got off a light, so you're starting up and going. So maybe you're at 0, or maybe you're just on a main thoroughfare that's speed limit is 55. You're trying to get up to highway speed, and people treat the on ramp, particularly those of an elderly generation, treat the on-ramp as a 30-mile-an-hour zone, and then the moment they try to they're on the highway, that's when they start to speed up, when they're trying to then merge into everybody else's traffic that's going 80 miles an hour. That's the other problem, is that they're not, to Yell's your point, they're not going fast enough, and they're clearly not understanding the ways of the road anymore, because when they first started driving, it was the introduction of horse and buggy moving over to vehicles. I mean, and they're like, whoa, 30 miles an hour, really cooking here today.
That's true.
And bread was 10 cents.
Yeah, right, exactly. Eggs, you could get an egg for a penny a pop. Penny candy was still a thing. I mean, that's the time. Like, the Ford family was just getting started when these folks started driving, and now we've got, Nikola Tesla's got a car. They're probably, what the heck? What, Tesla? The old Nikola's got a vehicle now? Like, they're losing their minds.
They don't even know how to use half the shit in the vehicle. Like, they don't know. They buying the brand new car. They drive it on weekends only to pick up their medicine. They don't know they don't know what the buttons are. They gotta call everybody and ask. I had a lady one time, while you talking about not flipping anyone off. I'm driving, and when you pull up to a there's a median and you can turn in from either side. Either you're going this way and you can turn in, or you're going this way and you can turn in. I don't think people are aware that you're supposed to drive up and past so that the car on the other side can see the oncoming traffic. People don't know that.
More than that, people are not aware that you need to, when you go into the median, that's any age I've seen. People just can't drive, period. They're not aware when you go into the median, you need to be on the right-hand side at all times.
That's what I'm talking about. You go up and pass. That's what I mean.
And on the left side is not your side. You should be on the right side every time.
You nailed exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're on the right-hand side. You're past them. That way they can see the oncoming traffic on the other side. So this old lady, she didn't do that, right? I pull up and I can't see. She rolls her window down aggressively. Rolls it. She don't even have a little choice. She rolls it down to give me the biggest. She was angry, like 80 years of anger face too. She flipped me off. I was like, you old bird. Like, you're on the wrong side.
Time out. So she rolled down her window.
Rolled it down so that I could hear it? I'm not sure. I don't know.
She didn't think you could see it through the clear glass?
I have no idea. That's why they shouldn't be driving. That's why they
she wanted him to see it in 3D, not behind no glass.
Put your 3D glasses on. This one's coming right at you.
Wasn't there on Golden Girls, wasn't there like the 3 women, but wasn't there like an even older mom? Like an old lady?
You dated
I don't know.
me.
She looked like one of them ladies. Her face was just so angry. Just like, you mother. Like, she was really pissed at me. I know she went home and she told somebody. If she remembered it happened by the time she made it home.
And she called you the N-word too, I'm sure. I'm sure she called you the
N-word. I'm sure she had some.
You got called the N-word.
Oh.
There was a hard R in there, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it was 3 R's in there.
Yeah. She probably used 2 E's instead of an I.
Ooh, now that's getting real. That's getting real deep Southern hatred down there.
Hey,
so
shouldn't have been driving. So,
Rick, you don't seem to be a fan of they're not on the road pre 10 o'clock in the morning. You don't subscribe to that, it seems like.
No, I think they need help regardless of what time they're on the road for. Like, hey, there's some people that have to be up their jobs at 7 or at 6. You know what I mean? So they've been up since 4. They're on their second pot of coffee already. So it's like, I think they should have special hours just for them. They're up at 4.
Like
can we get some of these places?
Like a bike lane? There should be like an old lane?
Or can we get some special work hours? Can we get them on their own work? Let's get some times for these businesses just for the elderly. You know what I mean? From 4 a.m. to 7 a.m., come get everything you need done. You got your appointments. You got your little Walgreens. whatever, do the grocery shopping. Let's have a little setup time because that way they're the only ones driving. Them, the toots and truck drivers are the only ones on the road at that time of morning. So this is their opportune time for them to get their things done. They can still come home, watch their Matlock or Night Court or whatever it is that they watch. TMZ, my mom likes, so now she gets news from TMZ, which is kind of weird, but that's where we are in society. Or do whatever you need to do for the rest of the day. They're going to be in bed by 9. So I think they should have, I think stores should open up for the elderly. I know they don't give a damn, but you should. And if you did give a damn, you should have store hours from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. And you know who you hire to work those store hours? Another old person, because they're going to be up too.
So I think that we might get a little bit of, I don't think it's natural selection at that point, but considering, it's dark out at those hours, and these are folks not known for their
Marsh,
laser vision. I'm not saying you're right or wrong here. I'm just, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw maybe an uptick in collisions because they tend to be very concerned with not being able to see. I mean, clearly that's why they're driving 45 on the highway so they can get a full visual screen of what they're up against. You turn out the lights. I actually had, for example, this is a couple weeks ago. I was leaving. We have a townhouse, and I was leaving the little area. And you leave. You come to a side road. You take a left, and you come to a stop sign, and then you're on a 2-lane road, a little bit more busier, but not quite like a main road just yet. And there was a car stopped at the stop sign, and so it's 6 o'clock at night, already dark, obviously, because it's wintertime. And I get to the car, and this woman has the door open, and she gets out, and she just is getting all sorts of flustered. And she comes to the passenger side door. It's Florida. I'm very concerned about anybody approaching my car, let alone I don't care what age you are. I'm on edge.
That action, Marsh. You're ready for that action.
So I rolled out the window.
Had that Jay Wayne on.
Yeah, I don't know. There's Palm Beach County can be a little dicey. So I roll down the window like a couple inches, enough to be able to hear what she has to say. She goes, "I can't figure out how to turn the lights on this car. It's not mine. I don't know what is going on. I cannot get it." And I know that she's getting really frustrated because there was a car that drove around her before I got there. So somebody was like, "This old hag," and just dipped and didn't want to help at all. And so it was a Lincoln. I drive a Ford. I kind of same dealership. I figured I knew how this car was going to turn on. Just to the left of the steering wheel, there's a little dial, and you can go from off to auto to on, whatever. So I get up, reach in, spin the dial, put it onto on, and put it onto auto.
She kidnaps you. She hits you over the head, and she kidnaps you.
Smacked me she robbed me. She jumped me. No, she starts freaking out. She's like, "Oh,
she kept him in the house, Rick. She kept him. She kidnapped him and kept him just so you could turn the TV on."
I'm not home. This is her place right now. I have she allows me to podcast, and that's it.
You're in her basement right now.
Yes. I get Kraft mac and cheese and box stuffing, and that is all she feeds me, and it's a great time. No, but she starts freaking out like I have just solved like the most difficult math problem known to mankind. Like I was the most intelligent being that she had ever interpreted or come across because I turned on the lights on her vehicle. So, I don't disagree with you. Hours for those folks would be better, Roniel. They would be better for us to just be, not have to deal with them on the road all the time. I'm not saying they shouldn't drive, just maybe not when everyone else is.
I don't know about the hours. I'm not on board with the hours. There's all kinds of people. There's all kinds of transit going on in the world. So I don't know about the hours. I think there's a bike lane, and the bike lane really pisses me off. I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to score extra few points a few times.
Okay. You got that Texas driving anger down there.
Oh my God, they don't even care. Like they're like, I know I got the right of way. I'll just skirt out. I think elderly people though there should be an elderly lane. I can agree with that one. An elderly, just a lane just for them. And if any accidents occur, it's in theirs. They're not moving too fast. Everyone should be safe. And if they leave out of that lane, we know whose fault it is.
I love this idea. What's this, Rick? Go ahead.
Elderly lane, that's not bad.
It's not going to work on I-95 though. That's a lot of work.
But that's what I was going to say. How do you enforce that? Because if somebody's got to turn to the right, then you gotta cross the elderly lane. Like that's gonna be backed up for days. Or if you put them in you'd have to put them on a whole different driving level.
This kind of goes back to like the early days, like segregation. Like we're gonna segregate the freeways. It's a lot of extra work, man. You think all the work they put in back then, used to have two separate things. We need to segregate the freeways.
I would tell you this: South Florida, just based off pure wealth class and wealth status, is pretty segregated as it is. And some of these islands down in South Florida, I'll tell you what, the age is not too young, and neither is the bank account. Bank account's a little veteran with plenty of heft to it. I think the problem we'd run into with any type of timing enforcement is that people are going to break the law, right? Law, rule, whatever you want to call it. People are going to break the rules.
All people never break the law.
Well, so in the same way, when you get too many I don't have any experience with this, thank God. If somebody has too many DUIs, in order to get their license back, they have to breathalyze, they have to blow into the tube in the vehicle. I think that, I'm not saying that to blow into a tube, but we need some biometric scan that they have to use to turn on the vehicle. And if it recognizes, hey, you're 69 years old, it's 9 in the morning. It's
how does it recognize? It's based off facial recognition.
It has to see how loose your skin is.
That's not going to work. Let me tell you why it's not going to work, Marsh. That's not going to work because black don't crack. So you could be a 69-year-old woman and you can still look 50. And so technically by age, you shouldn't qualify. But the machine's not going to pick that up because baby girl still got it together. That's how I go like that sometimes. But
the machine would be just like your phone. The phone reads your face. The car would read your face. That way you can manipulate it with hey, I don't know what you called your Auntie Belle. Auntie Belle can't walk over and say, hey, Ricky, get in the car and start for me. I got to go to the store. And you come in, face scan, starts the car, and then she can leave. It's like, hey, this is the driver of the car. If you want to drive during these hours, you got to sit in that driver's seat. It's going to scan your face. If it's not the right time, car ain't going to start. You're stuck at home. You're grounded. Or
well, she has an emergency at home.
This happens all the time for DUI drivers.
They got life alert. It's right around their neck. They just push that button and they're gone. What are we debating? I know that. I saw that on Cartoon Network as a kid. That's locked in.
But that's what DUI drivers, when they have to deal with that same thing. So I get your point, Marsh. It's embarrassing too. Have you ever seen anybody do that shit? That shit is hysterical. Hold on 1 second. What?
It's pretty crazy. Yeah. And it looks really bad if a woman has to do it.
That's the first time I saw it was a woman.
It just looks really bad.
What about that looks really bad?
What do you mean?
Because it gives up. So just now we're talking about just culture. I'm not culture. You're talking about just gender differences. Guys are, can be looked at as bad boys and no one bats an eye. So if you have a blow into the tube so you can drive, I was like, yo, that dude was reckless. Like, yo, he was having some good ass times. If a woman does that, it looks like all of a sudden she's irresponsible. I'm not saying that's correct. I'm just saying that's how it looks. Did you say, wait, I'm so sorry. Did you say you're not saying that that's what it means? Yes, it is. You're a woman. Somebody should be able to drive you around. Like, after you got the first one, you know what it means? It means you're ugly. That's what it means. Oh. It is what it means. After you got that first one, you should have had enough common sense to say, I need somebody else to drive me around, so I'm not going to get drunk and drive. But you couldn't find that person to do it, could you? Wow. That's what it means for a lady. Wow.
Just saying.
I'm going to disagree with both of you on that. That seems like, I think my hot take of putting.
I'm just talking about perception. I'm just talking about perception.
I'm an equal opportunity dumb decision maker. I think everyone can make dumb decisions. That's what I subscribe
for sure. But I think that most men, fair or unfair, hold women to a higher standard than themselves. I think if you have a significant other, I believe you want her to be better than you in a lot of things. And, and responsibility is probably one of those things. that you're hoping she's just as good or better than you at.
What Rick's saying is like
As far as responsibility and decision making, you want to believe that the woman that you're with is better than you at responsibility, at being responsible and decision making. That might not always be the case, but I think that's what every man wants to believe.
What Rick is saying, like he wants to be able to say, "Hold my drink while I get crazy." Like he expects that to be the standard. Hold my drink while I get crazy, and that she doesn't drink it. That way she can also drive.
I think that's a little too deep for my blood. That's a little too far. I'm just of the mindset anyone can be dumb.
Good answer, Marsh.
Anyone can be dumb, make bad decisions. That's what I'm.
Anybody can be dumb. I agree,
but I'm gonna agree with you, Rick. I see where you're going because you do like when you do see like when I saw that is what I thought because the first person I saw. I don't know if it was. It doesn't matter, and I'm not going. This is the one time I'm not going to say names. Other than that, I'm saying names. But yeah, she was like, "Hey, you want to ride to get Whataburger or something?" Like, yeah.
She's offering the ride.
What's that?
She's offering the ride.
Yeah. Man, like, okay, well, let me hop in. That might be the reason I don't like being a passenger anymore, Rick. I sat me down and she sat over, buckled up. Got the mirror going, did all the preparing, got the radio going. The very last thing she did was reach over and I was like, what was that? What you doing? What was that right there? What are you drinking? What are you smoking? Oh no, that's just I have to blow into the like she explained the whole thing right there. I started unbuckling.
You look like Roger Troutman playing computer love. Yeah. I want you to be better than me. Yeah. I guess it's a statement I'm trying to make it. I would like for you to be better than me.
And can you imagine if a young lady? Hold on, no, Marsh. Can you imagine if a young lady
decision-making aspect?
If a young lady has multiple DUIs and has to blow into that, and then one day she's going to be older driving as well, 65 plus trying to drive, I think that's a lot of who's on the road in Florida. I'm just guessing.
There's a good mixture of people with speckled pasts on the road of Florida. That's what I would say. Speckled past, maybe speckled futures. There was something I can't remember what I was going to say. It was not
about women being too ugly to find somebody to drive for them?
No, it was more so to Rick's point of be better. That's what it is. So Rick is essentially admitting here that men just have such this low barrier of entry to be civilized that we expect women to just be above it. That's essentially what we're doing.
That's absolutely what I'm saying, yes. Yeah. We're Neanderthals. We're Neanderthals. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do a voice to anything to that. I think that would be dangerous. I think it's time for an ad read, and I think Rick, you've got this one. So why don't we let the folks know who did not sponsor today's episode?
This episode is not brought to you by Tissot. I guess that's how you pronounce it. A Swiss watch brand known for precision, craftsmanship, and being on time. 3 things I am not. Am I on time? Hardly ever. But thanks to Tissot, I know just how exactly not on time I am. I'm not late because I don't care. I'm late because I think time is more of a suggestion. A 10 a.m. start really means 10-ish. Be there in 5 is more of a mindset than a promise. These watches are built with Swiss precision. They're accurate to the second. They're elegant, reliable, and never running behind. Everything I am not. A Tissot doesn't overestimate how long it takes to leave the house. It doesn't scroll for 1 more minute. It doesn't say, I'll just shower real quick. So if you're like me and constantly late, but never actually changing, maybe the solution isn't discipline. Maybe it's outsourcing. Ooh. Accountability to Switzerland.
Ooh.
Tissot. Because when I'm late, I know exactly how late I am.
My favorite part is that he doesn't even pronounce the watch correctly. But I like Tissot. It's I think Tissot, right, Rick? Or Yellz, I think.
I don't know.
Tissot. Oh, that's
I
good.
think the best part of
Listen,
that is
I was too late to understand the pronunciation up in Switzerland. You know what I'm saying?
it's late in Switzerland. It's even later for Rick here. All right. Well, thank you, Tiso, for not
Thank you,
sponsoring.
Tisai.
To be fair, if you're always like, here's one thing I know about Rick, and now that I know this information about you in the T-Sat, Rick is never anywhere he doesn't want to be because he scoped it out. Everyone else has made it there first. He's got the info on if he would rather be there or not. If he showed up, he wanted to be there. Yeah.
For sure.
You've got South Florida's got a lot of that. In Vermont, people are always on time for the most part, and so when I moved to Florida, something starts at 5:00. All right, I'll be there at like 4:55.
Where in Vermont, everything's 2 minutes away, Marsh. It's very difficult to not be on time in Vermont when your job and your house is right next to each other. The restaurant is down the street, and the kid's school, you can throw a rock and break the window.
See, that is not accurate at all. Vermont is very spread out. It's just that there's no traffic, So a third is, I don't know what it is, but anybody that has grown up in New England, 30 minutes feels very far away in Vermont or New England as a whole because you have to drive 20 to 30 miles to get there because you're going, you're on a main road, you're going 60 miles an hour the whole time. In Florida, 30 minutes feels like nothing because it's only like 5 to 10 miles, if that, but you get stuck with old folks driving or you got to deal with rush hour traffic or a bunch of lights. So Vermont is very spread out. So if you got to be somewhere at a certain time, you're there. South Florida, it's like it is very much a suggestion. And typically people are there half an hour late, and it's like sometime. Like I have friends that you have to tell we will do something an hour early. Like you'll tell them it's at 7 p.m., knowing it's not actually until 8, but make them have to show up at 7.
What's their name?
Makes sense.
I doubt he listens to this podcast.
Oh, that's not why I'm asking.
His name is Zig, and he's the worst culprit of it.
And the other guy's Zag? What is Zig?
He's a hip hop artist or an aspiring one. His real name is not Zig, but that's what everyone calls him, is Zig.
Interesting. I once dated a young lady in Indiana. This was years ago, so I don't know if this is true now. But she went for a job, and she got declined because they say she lived too far from her job. She was like 20 minutes away. But for that company, and again, this has been years ago. This is probably like 10 years ago. So I don't know if that's still the case now. But they didn't offer her a job because they said she lived too far away from Indiana, from wherever the job was. So I guess different states have their own thing.
Did she also play in the WNBA and you also beat her in one-on-one?
She didn't play basketball, but I did beat her in one-on-one for sure.
We're not talking basketball this time.
We're talking ball, it's not basketball.
That's family friendly, Richard.
We're still balling. It's just not with a basketball, but balling is balling.
I got you.
You were saying something else?
No, Rick. When Rick talks, we were just kind of giving him a hard time about being late. Truly, Rick, though, you probably were just caught behind some old lady, right?
All the time, I a lot of respect to the elderly, those ladies. I'm the patient.
Why do we always say old lady though? Is it not old men?
It can be old men. They don't drive fast.
I'm going with old.
They drive some old men. Most old men kind of drive still kind of fast though, a little bit. Now, if they're in a pickup, they're driving fast and they're hitting everything. So you might want to get out of the way because they're in them old Chevy pickups that they still made them out of good metal and good material. So you can hit them or they hit you, your car is done for. So usually when I see those guys, I get out of their way because I don't want any problems because they're going to hit me and I'm going to be in trouble.
Can I tell y'all what I hate? Can we introduce that real quick?
Uh-oh.
Go for it.
Do you know what I hate?
No! Tell us what you hate!
Because it's normally an old person. What they do is they drive super slow. It's an old lady. I'm going to keep it 100. It's an old lady. And she's driving slow. And she decides to just slowly change lanes when you're supposed to go faster to change lanes. That really pisses me off to the point, like, I know it's one of the reasons I'm not like a billionaire yet, because if I was, Energy in the World knows what I would do. I wouldn't let off the gas at all. I would keep going, and they would be a hood ornament to go wherever I'm going. I don't really want to get hurt, but I want to be able to throw the cash out the window and say, fix your car, but you're going wherever I'm going. And it's always an old lady. You know it. Y'all all looking. Maybe what I'm saying is crazy, but you thought in your head, you're driving, you're going a cool 75, someone's going 61, and they just, it's like you're not even there. They just start moving slowly over. Get your ass out the way. Don't you want to not take your foot off the gas in some of those moments?
No. What I hate is when they're driving, when people in general, old person or not, driving slow, you're behind them. You decide to get over because they're driving too slow, and they speed up. Now they're right with you, next to you. I'm like, fool, you could have did that speed in the beginning. You wouldn't be here right now. So I hate when they driving slow. You drive around them, and also they want to speed up now to show that they have the ability to drive fast.
You should be allowed. You should be allowed to bump them. You should be allowed to just give them a little nudge. Just bump them in the car. It's cool.
There's no little nudge going to 60 plus miles an hour. Every nudge is a big nudge.
It's cool. You just push them back into the elderly lane. It should be allowed.
I think you have road rage, is what we've determined. You're out here trying to take out bicycles like Mario Kart.
I didn't flick anybody off in a median. It was that old lady. And if I see her anywhere, if I see you, I won't be so
you
nice
recognize
next
the
time,
face.
Margaret.
You'll be able to recognize that
Margaret.
face.
Wait.
Sure.
Is that like a top? What's like a top 5 old name? I think Margaret got to be in the top 5.
Margaret got to be up there.
What is it?
Top 5 old person's name?
Old lady name. Margaret.
You said Margaret?
Yeah.
Yeah, Margaret's probably top 5.
I'd say Margaret's.
For me, for us in the South,
Eleanor.
What's that?
Eleanor,
Oh,
Eleanor, yeah,
Eleanor.
sure.
That's good.
Or any person who has a first name and middle name they say together, like Mary J. Or you put the first and middle name together, it's like one name. Oh yeah, you're from the country, and you probably was born 30. When you was born, you probably
We're 130.
you came to the world at 30 years old.
I don't know that she's gonna listen to this, so we had a team dinner out. Speaking of being born 30, we had a team dinner out, and my boss was showing folks. She's a very cute little nephew. Kid's probably like 8 years old, and she showed us a picture of him, and he's got the classic mullet that everybody's got going on. All the kids got going on right now. The fade mullet, and she showed us a picture and said he's
that shit. It started here. It started here. Give
Ron
it up.
started
Somebody keep it real on this show. It started here.
Well, that all the white kids decided to co-opt. So
yeah, that's how it goes.
But she showed us a picture. I'm like, that kid looks like he's just waiting for Marlboro Red and a Bush Light to be in his hand. I said he's a tattoo sleeve waiting to happen. I mean, he just looked like he was ready to rock and roll. So I don't know that you're too far off there with that comment, Rick. So, okay, we think that old folks need to retest their driving skills at the age of 65. Is there anything else that we are established at a young age that needs to be retested or recertified? I'm not talking about legitimate certifications for like jobs, but like we are given a lot of leeway early on in terms of 21 you can drink, nobody doubts that for the rest of your life. 18 you can vote, nobody doubts that for the rest of your life. Driving 16, nobody doubts that for the rest of your life until like the very end of your career. Is there anything else that needs to be reassessed at different parts of life?
Yes. Sexual preference. That needs to be reevaluated. I think you need to take a test, and it needs to be placed on your license. Somewhere on your license, it needs to be some kind of preference, whether it's put a little boy in the corner or put a little girl in the corner, or maybe put a boy and a girl. Maybe you bad both sides. I think people need to know what they're getting themselves into. I think it's only fair. It's 2025. Like, whatever you're into, like, if I just ask you your ID, you check me ID, and then I can see the corner, I'll be like, oh, okay, all right, cool. That's not my type of speed. Oh, okay, cool. I'm into that type of thing. Like, I think you need to have that written down somewhere, not for judgmental purposes, but for people to be in the know, because that way those who you deal with They already know what they're getting into. I think it's a very safe way to go about things in moving forward.
Why do you feel like that?
Man, it gets quiet. It got really quiet for a second.
Rick, you know, I'm only getting quiet because I don't. That's kind of like I forget what it's called. Her, him, them, they, like that kind of thing, right? Is that what you want to know? What the actual preference is right there?
Not what you identify as,
but what you identify as wanting, right?
What you want, yeah. What your desire is, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was just gonna go even a step.
He's going.
We're going further than that. I thought that was pretty far.
That's pretty far, right?
I think you know this line, Rick. So we're gonna see where you stand on live television. I think you may have brought this up before. I don't know if we aired it. I don't know. Marsh, you ever talk to somebody and you're talking to them, you're like, I don't know if they get it or not. But you, for whatever reason, you know, I don't know if it's at work. I don't know if it's a family member. You never know, right? But you have to talk to them. And you need to know if they're capable of understanding what you're saying. It gets dodgy when you don't know if someone is capable. So there might need to be some kind of demarcation where it just says, just something that says who you're talking to, what they're able to receive. Rick, don't you dare stare into this camera like you don't understand what the hell I'm talking about.
What they're able to receive?
It's a matter of efficiency. That's all I'm saying. It's a matter of efficiency. To save us all some time, do we walk down complicated conversations with people, or do we just kind of dumb it? It's kind of like when you go to Burger King, you like, can I get a number one with cheese? And they ask you, is that a meal or the sandwich? It's a goddamn number one. I said Coke, I said fries, and number one's not a burger. I need to know the level of who I'm dealing with quickly, right? So I can communicate. You know what I'm saying?
You're trying to figure out their reading comprehension is basically.
Oh, not just reading comprehension.
Well, I wasn't specifying just reading comprehension, but that's pretty much what you're trying to get at.
I'll stop there.
And what symbol should be there to let us know what
brain? Is it like a brain size? Is that what you're insinuating?
Yeah, it's like a. What are we putting there for them to know?
Maybe like a spiral or something. I don't know.
So if you have it on.
My bad.
So the spirals are for they're for who? They're for what individuals? What individuals will receive it?
Are not processing. Like, come on, man. It's just when things aren't processed properly, there should be some. Oh, y'all. You know what? I know I just kind of commandeered this. I gotta tell y'all a crazy story. We're talking about driving, right? We're talking about that.
I'm picking up what you put down.
Oh, camp production. Give me the solo for a second. Oh my God. I go to meet. I'm going out with a wife and a family member. They're already at a spot at a bar partying. Rick, 50-15. So they're there and they're like, hey, come through. Really want you to come enjoy. I try not to do stuff too often. When I do, normally I'm going crazy. So I was in a good spot that day. I had a little something to drink and was in a good spot. I said I don't want to drive. I didn't want to have to blow on a DUI thing later in my life, right? So I took an Uber, and actually, wifey called the Uber for me, so it could arrive that way. I could keep working, right? So I didn't have to look at what kind of vehicle it was. I didn't none of the stuff that you get to see on Uber. I just knew when it was there. Come outside of my house. I get in the Uber. We start driving. And you know how you're cordial. Sometimes you're, hey, how you doing, man? I hope you're having a good night, busy night. Hope you make a lot of money. We probably maybe 5 minutes into the drive. I'm not too far from the freeway. It takes about 3 minutes to get on the freeway where I stay. We get on, and it's dark, right? It's dark. It's nighttime, so I'm not paying a lot of attention. I'm looking around, making sure the car is clean. I'm not touching anything I don't need to touch. And I look up, and I'm just like, this guy had a mechanical claw for an arm driving me on the freeway. And I looked on the other arm because now I'm concerned. He had 2 mechanical arms and no real arms driving me somewhere. I don't know if that's wrong or right, but it wasn't right. That's all. I was not comfortable, but we were already driving. So I couldn't say, hey man, You won't pull over. What happened? There was nothing I could say, right? But I can tell you I was terribly uncomfortable. Obviously, I got there safe. But I asked wife, I was like, hey, is there something we can, like, I don't know what waiver we sign when we sign up for Uber. Like, does it address that the drivers have to have arms? So she went in and we made like a little comment, like, hey, my driver and he also wasn't the driver that it was supposed to be. She went back and looked, it was supposed to be a female between age, blah, blah, blah. It was a man with a beard with no arms. Should they have licenses with no arms?
But I will say this, Marsh, now I can see it to you. Every time I get in the Uber, I am vehemently reminded that they are not tested on their driving skills whatsoever. Anybody can drive. Some of my worst driving experiences in life as of recent has been behind me at the mercy of an Uber driver who have not only do they know how to drive, but a lot of people in Houston now are implants, so they're not from here. But not only do they know how to drive, they don't know where to go. So they're using all type of innuendos, and it's not a fun ride. So shout out to the Uber driver from this past weekend, though, man. Kind of saved the day.
But before you go into that, because I want you to tell that story too. But I don't want y'all to run from this for fear of backlash. Like, would you be concerned if they had no arms when they're driving?
You got, what is the debate here? The guy...
There's no debate. Would you be comfortable if someone's arms, they didn't have arms and they had prosthetic arm that wasn't even prosthetic? It was a clamp.
Could that clamp around the steering wheel?
I guess so, because they got me where I was going. But
I'll bet you that was even better. It might have had a little rotational action. So
it didn't. It didn't. It didn't.
You don't know that.
No.
You weren't even paying attention.
The clamps were like this. I swear to God. I'm not making that up.
You're telling me Edward Steele's hands drove the Uber and drove
it was two pinchers that looked like this. I swear. He was driving.
I think you've been drinking too much.
No.
And you were doing something else probably at the club.
Not at all.
That you're not admitting on this.
I agree with Marsh. Either Edward Scissorhands drove the wheel or you was drinking too much.
I think you had a bad batch of red wine.
No, I hadn't even started. No, I had my little drink at home. You had a bad batch of reds.
That's what you had. The Merlot was a little tainted.
How they fingers look again? Let me see how they fingers look. That's
when I noticed.
That's Johnny Depp. Look, that was Johnny Depp was your driver.
Rick, you know where I stay. We come off that back street, you go straight. I didn't have to see anything because I guess his hands were low on the wheel. We got ready to make that right. His little went up. And he made the right and turned us. I was like, oh no. And then we got on the freeway and immediately there's like an overpass and a high bridge. Oh, I've never been quieter. I was so scared.
But you got there.
I did.
Got there.
I did.
I would like to acknowledge one thing, and the folks that are listening did not get to appreciate this if you watch it on YouTube. But in Yellz, your lead up to that, you are first talking about essentially the computing capabilities of those you are speaking to. And then immediately after you say, hey, production, let me go solo. Keep in mind, Yellz is the producer here. And he immediately cut to Rick on camera. I just would like that to be established.
I'm too many hats to wear. There's a lot happening right now.
The man who said Gen X is cooked, not realizing he was talking about Gen Z. And also who is the producer and puts the wrong man on camera is complaining about the processing abilities of those in this. I just think, we call each other on our stuff over here. Yeah, I'm just,
to be
just
fair,
observing.
I'm trying to manage this while we're doing this. I'm talking about just having a conversation with people. You've been there. I see you. You clean it up, and that's what you do. You're good. You know you're good. But we've all talked to people where they didn't process something. We gonna go back to that when we talk to them.
I agree. I think that's probably something that needs to be. I'm with you on that. When we were in school, whenever there were people on campus that maybe had that was different or special needs or whatever the case may be, they were oftentimes, you knew who they were because they took different classes, different wings of the hall. They had a different lunch. They had a different dismissal time. They maybe rode a different type of bus, the whole nine. So you knew who they were. You already knew who they were. So if they did something or said something that was a bit out of bounds, no one really tripped on them. Why? Because you knew what you was dealing with. So you're like, all right, cool. That person may not know any better. That just may be how they communicate. Whatever, not a problem. The issue we have here in America today is now these folks are adults. And now we don't have any labels. They're working at your local Starbucks. They're working at your furniture stores. They're working in Fortune 500 companies. Some of them are your bosses. And they have really big deficiencies that has not been labeled. So when you're talking to these people, it's important to realize, to Yell's point, this person might be a little special. You know what? I'm not gonna go off on Lil Johnny today, because Lil Johnny, as I think about it, Lil Johnny might just need to be labeled. When they remove the labels, you stop knowing who was who, and so now you argue with fools. And Jay-Z has said it best: do not argue with fools, because people from a distance can't tell who's who. We live in a different world today.
Hey,
Bring all the labels back.
It would de-escalate so many counter issues with Spirit Airlines. Like, we'd be able to quickly decide who's who. Like, quickly.
How does Spirit Airlines get hit by this bus?
Yeah, what did they do?
Old lady driving. Old lady was driving.
Marsh, you disagree? You disagree with that take?
I do disagree with that, because I don't. Look, people are coming in from all different walks of life that are dealt a different set of hands, and I don't.
They have hands.
Literally.
Unlike Uber drivers in Houston, apparently they actually have hands, and I don't know that. I don't know that we need labels for them, because I feel like we're getting a little scarlet lettery with that. And I think patience, which apparently Ron Yell, when he's behind the steering wheel, doesn't quite exude, is always a virtue. I don't know that we need to be understanding the computing capabilities of every person that we interact with.
But
I would say.
But do you agree that you will be more compassionate to your fellow man if you knew already that?
Why do I need to know?
If you already knew that they was a couple of sandwiches short of a picnic, would you deal with them or handle them differently?
I would like to think I approach handling anybody with the same type of compassion and patience. I don't think I need to know, all right, I got to jack it up for this person.
Somebody cue the American flag on Marsh's head. He's just an all-American hero.
I just don't think I'm sitting here saying, oh, this person has some things loose. Let me really jack up the friendliness. I like to think I'm a friendly human being across the. But it's not for them. It's for you, because now you're able to not be able to escalate the situation, or maybe you now taper your feelings, or maybe getting mad. You're like, you know what? I'm not even going to get mad with you, because I already know what I know. So it's on me if I act differently, because I already know what I know. That's all I'm saying. I think it'd be more peaceful. People have more empathy, more compassion, if you already knew what somebody was or wasn't. That's all I'm saying.
There's a reason for the phrase. It's a pretty common phrase where people say, "Are you fucking crazy?" Because if someone responded and said, "Yes, I am," actually, it changes the context.
It changes everything.
How you interact with them.
I'm walking off. Once you say that, I'm like, you know what? You're right. And I'm walking. Whatever we were arguing about, I'm no longer arguing with you no more. Because you already told me what it was.
That you two are wrong for this. I'm saying that maybe we should just approach people with a baseline. This person might be all there, and then you're just nice to everybody. So you just go that route. Just be nice to everybody.
It's not nice. It's like that's the other end of it is people are like, why are you being condescending? Well, I assumed that I needed to slow down like my delivery on this one. Like it's a hard line, man. It's a hard line.
All right, we're releasing this on Christmas Day, which I guess we probably could have started a lot higher in the show. So for I guess a Merry Christmas here late to everybody. Any Christmas traditions before we close out? Because I think we have veered pretty far away from the initial point of old folks should be retested for driving.
You know, I
two are
always
out
like
here
to try
trying to give labels.
I like to try and bring it full circle though. I'm flabbergasted that you guys number one. I think we were all in consensus on the old people should be retested. Did we all agree there?
I think we are consensus on that. Yes.
Okay, so if anyone watching or listening disagrees, we need to hear from you because it sounds like we're right. But I can't believe that you guys are not like as concerned as I am about people driving without arms. We all have a mutual friend.
Wait, without hands or without arms? Without arms is a totally different thing.
Yeah, that is true.
You can't drive without arms. I don't care who you are. You're not driving without arms.
That they have the air tube and they can drive with that. It's pretty cool.
I
They
guess.
have a what?
Oh, he's
Like
talking
an
about
air tube.
the DUI.
Oh, yeah.
So
No,
our
I'm not
mutual
talking about with
friend-
the DUI. I'm talking about people that are like if they're paralyzed, they can. I think they can still. They have some technology today that allows them to drive.
Yes, I had a trainer who didn't have any legs and he drove. This is not a joke. I'm being dead ass serious. Like, yeah.
So
So what? You just never did leg day? Is that too far?
No, of course not. Of course not. It's not too far.
I'm just asking.
of course not.
Let me tell you what's crazy about this guy. If you're in Houston, they probably are, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, they probably, if they're watching this, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a white guy. Listen, the parts he could work out, the parts he could work out was worked out, Judge. Big dude, man. He was my trainer for a minute. And he gets around like on the skateboard. So he gets around on the skateboard and he loves to fight. He loves to fight.
He like
So he
you or,
loves
like,
when people say things and do things. So I'm saying it now in case somebody I know is watching this, somebody knows him watching this. I forgot the guy's name. Hell of a trainer. We ain't got no problems. Next time I see you, first round's on me. But he was a hell of a trainer. The first training he did, the first training we did, I couldn't even finish the first episode, the first workout.
Hey, he kicked
Like
your
he-
ass, son. Well, you know what I mean. Look, so
We're way off the reservation. We were way off the
the
reservation.
driving thing, I still have to stick to that one because we have a good friend, mutual friend named Siege, and the conversation was, I don't think we realize just driving a vehicle, it's a death machine that we're driving. Like, it is it's the most dangerous thing we do on a regular basis, driving that speed with that lack of level of protection every single day, multiple times for long periods. I think that if we're saying elderly people need to retake a test, why should people not be required to have other faculties that I'm mentioning? Like, there's nothing more dangerous that we do routinely than drive a vehicle.
What does that have to do with Siege?
We were talking about it. So the conversation came up about just getting in the vehicle daily it's scary. Like, really, if you think about it, it's a really dangerous thing, especially if people are old, if they don't have arms. Like, those are scary. Those are extra added things to something that is already very dangerous.
I think
I
on the
get
record,
that.
if you don't have arms, you can probably not driving though.
But what does that have to do with Siege?
It was a chance to bring Siege up. You have a problem with Siege? I was bringing up Siege.
No, I just thought there was going to be some revelation about Siege, like he was in a car accident because somebody hit him.
No, I hope not. I hope he's good.
Somebody without an arms hit him.
Right. I thought there was something. Maybe there's something I don't know about Siege. Apparently,
You do know that I talk to people other than just you two. Maybe one other person, but I
No.
do talk to people. Yeah, I do.
it's not just your wife. That's it. Were you talking about?
It's
your
very
skin?
close. Very close. It's
Okay.
exclusive company.
All right. Well, it is Christmas Day, so Merry Christmas to everybody. If you are above the age of 65, please be safe on the road. And if you have no hands but are driving Uber in Houston, do not pick up a Roniel Wilson because he's not going to like that
Don't
very
pick
much.
up anybody.
You're definitely not going to get. You're definitely not going to get tipped.
By Roniel, he might get tipped by somebody else who's a compassionate human, not trying to play bowling balls with the bike lane. So that's our show. You can always listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, YouTube as well. Thursdays at 3 p.m. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll talk to you next week.
Shout out to Johnny Depp.